If you're thinking about moving to Austin and your budget is somewhere around $700,000, stay right here because this video was made for you. I'm going to walk you through exactly what that money gets you in Austin in 2026, and I think you're going to be really surprised in the best way possible. I'm Megan Holley, an Austin area realtor, and I help families and professionals relocate to Austin every single day. And the number one question I get asked without fail is, what does my budget actually buy me there? So today we are answering that question. We're going to talk about what $700,000 looks like neighborhood by neighborhood, what the hidden costs are that nobody tells you about, and I've got some real buyer tips for you. I'm also going to walk you through some actual real listing examples so you can really visualize what we're talking about. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe because I post every single week to help you move to Austin with confidence. All right, let's get started. Before we dive in, I want to give you a little bit of market context so you understand exactly where $700,000 sits in the Austin market right now. The Austin median sold price as of May 2026 is $440,000. So your $700,000 budget puts you well above the median. You have real options and you have leverage. And here is something I really want you to hear. Homes in the $700,000 to $800,000 range are currently selling at about 1.4% below asking price. That means sellers are negotiating. That means buyers have power right now. That's a massive shift from where this market was a few years ago when people were waiving inspections and throwing offers way over asking just to get a house. Right now, there are about 2,000 homes in Austin listed at or under $700,000, and homes are sitting on the market an average of 61 days. 61 days. That means you have time to be thoughtful, tour multiple homes, sleep on it, and make a smart decision. This is not a panic buy market. This is actually a really great time to be a buyer at this price point. Okay, so now that you know where you stand, let's talk about what $700,000 actually looks like on the ground. Where your $700,000 goes in Austin really depends on which part of Austin you're looking at. So I'm going to break it down area by area because the difference is significant. Let's start with the northern suburbs: Round Rock, Cedar Park, Pflugerville, and Georgetown. This is where your $700,000 does the absolute most work. At this budget in these areas, you're looking at 4 to 5 bedrooms, somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 square feet, a real backyard where your kids can actually play, very likely a 3-car garage, and you're sitting in some of the top-rated school districts in the entire state of Texas. Most of the school information I will reference in this video can be found at greatschools.org. Round Rock ISD and Georgetown ISD are both consistently ranked among the top in Texas. If you have kids and schools are a priority for your family, as well as the size of your home, this is genuinely where I would point you first. And what I want to be clear, these are not sleepy suburbs with nothing going on. Round Rock has an incredible downtown area, really good restaurants, the Dell Diamond, great parks. Georgetown has one of the most beautiful historic town squares in Texas. These communities are thriving. You are not sacrificing quality of life to get more house for your money. You are simply leveling up. Now let's talk West Austin. Bee Cave, Lakeway, and Steiner Ranch. If Hill Country views and lake access are calling your name, $700K out there still gets you something really beautiful. Think 3,000 to 3,500 square feet, newer construction in a lot of cases, gorgeous Hill Country scenery right outside your door, and you are close to Lake Travis. The lifestyle out there is something special. Wineries, hiking, kayaking, paddleboarding. It's the kind of place where people visit and immediately start thinking about how quickly they can move here. A lot of families relocating from places like California and the Northeast absolutely fall in love with this area. And as a bonus, property taxes in places like Bee Cave and Lakeway are often actually a little lower than inside Austin city limits, which is really nice. Now, if walkability and being close to all the things Austin is famous for is your top priority, the restaurants, the live music, the culture, Barton Springs, South Congress, then buying inside the city at $700,000 gets you something a bit more modest in terms of square footage. We're probably talking 1,800 to 2,400 square feet in South or East Austin, but you are in it. You are minutes from everything. It's a completely different lifestyle in the suburbs. And for the right person or family, it is absolutely worth it. It really just comes down to what you value most. Okay, I have to do this part because if you're moving here from a high cost of living city, you need this perspective check right now. In the San Francisco Bay Area, that same budget might get you a 2-bedroom condo. In Los Angeles, maybe a smaller 3-bedroom home. In New York or New Jersey, your options are significantly more limited at that price point. Here in Austin, you could be sitting in a 4 or 5-bedroom home with a pool, in a good school district, with a 3-car garage, on a good sized lot, in a community with great amenities. And here is the part that really changes the math. Texas has 0 state income tax. None. If your household income is, say, $200,000 a year or more, you're likely saving somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 every single year just by being in Texas. That is not a small number. That is a vacation, a college fund contribution, a renovation. That money stays in your pocket. Now, I am always going to be honest with you, and there is one thing I want to flag right now because it surprises a lot of people who are moving here from out of state, and that is property taxes. Okay, let's talk about it. Texas property taxes are higher than the national average. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. For a $700,000 home in Austin, you're looking at roughly $12,000 to $14,000 a year in property taxes before any exemptions. That works out to be somewhere around $1,000 to $1,200 a month added to your mortgage plan. And so when you're running numbers on what you can afford, please make sure your lender is factoring in the full tax amount and not just principal and interest. Here's the really important thing though. If this home is going to be your primary residence, you absolutely must file for homestead exemption. As of 2026, the school district homestead exemption in Texas is $140,000. That exemption alone can save you $1,000 to $1,800 a year on your tax bill. It takes about 10 minutes to file, and I walk every single one of my clients through how to do that at closing. So you don't want to skip this part. A couple of other things I want you to know about. HOA fees. A lot of the nicest master plan communities and newer developments in Austin, they do have HOA fees. They can range from about $50 a month all the way up to $300 a month or more, depending on the amenities. Always ask about this up front and factor that into your monthly budget before you fall in love with a home. And if you're buying in a newer suburb outside city limits, there may be MUD taxes. MUD stands for Municipal Utility District. These are additional taxes in newer developments that fund the water, sewer, and drainage infrastructure. They can add anywhere from $1,000 to $6,000 a year to your tax bill. I always flag these for my clients before they even tour a house, so there are 0 surprises later. Lastly, homeowners insurance. Texas has seen some of the steepest insurance rate increases in the country in recent years, largely due to weather-related risks. I strongly recommend getting insurance quotes early in your home search so you know what you're working with before you get to the closing table. Okay, let's make this really real. Let me walk you through a few examples of what is actually on the market right now at or under $700,000 so you can really visualize this. In Round Rock right now, $689,000 gets you a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home with about 3,500 square feet, a 2 or 3 car garage, a covered back patio, and it sits in Round Rock ISD. That is a lot of house for that money. Out in Lakeway, there's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with about 2,900 square feet on about half an acre, and there's no HOA, and it's listed at $695,000. And inside Austin, in the South Austin area, $699,000 gets you a renovated and designer 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, just under 2,000 square feet, walking distance to restaurants and coffee shops on a nice street, a smaller footprint, but the lifestyle and location are unbeatable. 3 very different homes, 3 very different lifestyles, all under $700,000. This is why I always say before you start your search, let's talk about what your priorities are, because the right home for you depends entirely on what matters most for your family. All right, let's wrap up with a few tips to make sure you make the most of your $700,000 in this market. Number 1, get pre-approved before you start touring. At this price point, sellers take you so much more seriously when you come in with a pre-approval letter. It also helps you understand your real monthly payment with taxes and insurance included, not just the purchase price. I have a lender that I love to send my clients to, so if you need one, just ask. Number 2, know the difference between new construction and resale. Austin has a ton of new construction right now, and builders are offering some really attractive incentives. Rate buydowns, closing cost assistance, free upgrades, that can stretch your $700,000 even further. But resale homes are often in more established neighborhoods with bigger lots and mature trees. Both are great, it just depends really on what you're looking for. Number 3, negotiate. I already told you that homes at this price point are selling below asking. You need to work with your agent to come in with a smart, well-structured offer. Ask for seller concessions toward your closing costs or a rate buydown. Don't be afraid to counter. The inventory is there and you definitely have options. Number 4, think about resale value even as you're buying. The things that protect your investment long-term are the school districts, proximity to major employers, and low flood risk. Austin is still a growing city, and $700K in the right location is going to look very smart 5 to 10 years from now. And number 5, work with someone who specializes in relocation. Buying in a city you've never lived in is genuinely different. You need someone in your corner who can tell you which neighborhoods fit your lifestyle, which school districts match your kids' needs, and which areas are really on the rise. That is exactly what I do, and I would love to do that for you. So there you have it, a complete picture of what $700,000 gets you in Austin, Texas in 2026. Whether you're drawn to the space and top schools of the northern suburbs, or the hill country lifestyle of West Austin, or the walkability and culture of inside the city, your budget absolutely works here. And if you're coming from a high cost of living state, I promise you, Austin is going to feel like a whole new world. If you want to talk through what your $700,000 looks like based on your family's specific needs and lifestyle, I would genuinely love to help. You can schedule a call with me in the link below. And if this video was helpful, please drop a comment below and tell me where you're moving from. I read every single comment and I really love hearing from you guys. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because I post every week to help you move to Austin with confidence. I'll see you next time.